Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with an unquenchable thirst, needing to get up to drink water or go to the bathroom several times? Maybe you've had cramps, tingling in your hands, or even an unexplained hunger, even after a hearty dinner. If this sounds familiar, beware. These could be silent signs that your glucose levels are out of whack during the night. Most people associate diabetes with daytime symptoms like fatigue, blurry vision, or constant hunger, but what few people know is that some of the most dangerous signs appear while you sleep, and ignoring them can delay diagnosis and lead to serious complications. Today, you will learn how to identify the 7 most common nocturnal signs of diabetes, and best of all, you will discover 8 simple strategies to control glucose spikes without having to cut carbohydrates from your diet. Before following, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Here you will find practical and accessible content to take care of your health in a conscious way, without nutritional terrorism. Now, let's understand why diabetes tends to manifest itself so silently, especially at night. Why does diabetes manifest at night? While we sleep, our body goes through several hormonal and metabolic adjustments. It's as if, even when we're at rest, our body is working behind the scenes to regulate vital functions, including blood glucose. And it's precisely during this moment of silence and slowdown that the first signs of imbalance can appear most clearly. During the night, insulin production, and the hormone responsible for helping glucose enter cells, tends to decrease slightly. This is natural. The problem occurs when the body is already having difficulty dealing with blood sugar. The result, small imbalances that go unnoticed during the day can intensify during sleep hours. For example, if you eat dinner late or eat foods high in simple carbohydrates before bed, your body may have trouble processing that sugar without physical activity to help. This can cause glucose spikes, followed by sudden drops, and then symptoms like sweating, intense thirst, frequent urination, sudden hunger, or even insomnia. Another factor is the so-called dawn effect, a phenomenon in which around 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. the body releases hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These naturally increase blood glucose levels to prepare the body for waking up. In people with prediabetes or diabetes, this process can cause an uncontrolled spike. Furthermore, those who already have insulin resistance may have even more difficulty during this period, and since we are asleep, the body cannot clearly ask for help. It sends discreet but constant signals that many people ignore until they become something bigger. That's why paying attention to what happens at night is just as important as taking care of yourself during the day. Sometimes the answer to that morning tiredness, leg pain, or difficulty sleeping is hidden in a nocturnal glycemic imbalance. Now that you understand why diabetes can manifest itself while you sleep, let's get straight to the point. What exactly are the 7 nocturnal signs that you should be aware of from today onwards? The 7 signs of diabetes at night. It's time to learn about the 7 most common signs that something may be wrong with your glucose levels at night. Remember, identifying these symptoms is not a reason to panic, but rather an important step towards prevention and control. Let's get to the list, and the more you identify with it, the more attention you should pay to your body. 7. Intense thirst. During the early morning, waking up 1 or more times with a dry throat and an urgent need to drink water can be one of the first warning signs. When there is excess glucose in the blood, the body tries to dilute this sugar by forcing the kidneys to produce more urine, which leads to dehydration. This nighttime thirst is not common and usually persists even if you have already drunk plenty of water throughout the day. 6. Frequent urination at night, nocturia. Going to the bathroom several times during the night can be more than just a nuisance. As your body tries to eliminate excess glucose through urine, your kidneys work harder than they should. If this happens occasionally, it may not be a cause for concern, but if it has become a routine, especially when you feel thirsty at night, it's worth checking your blood sugar levels. 5. Excessive sweating or cold sweats. Even on mild nights, some people wake up sweaty with wet clothes or sheets. This symptom may indicate nocturnal hypoglycemia, that is, a sudden drop in blood sugar levels, usually as a rebound effect of a previous spike. It's as if the body goes into a state of alert, trying to balance levels by force. If you've ever experienced this type of sweating without any apparent cause, it's worth paying attention. 4. Leg cramps or tingling night cramps, or that tingling. Sensation in the feet and hands may be linked to impaired circulation or nerves, something common in those who have high blood sugar for prolonged periods. It is a more subtle sign, but one that should not be ignored, especially if it appears frequently or is accompanied by other symptoms on the list. 3. Uncontrollable nighttime hunger. Waking up feeling hungry, even after a full meal, can be a sign of glucose dysregulation. When insulin isn't working properly, sugar doesn't enter cells as it should, and the brain understands that the body is out of energy, even though glucose is circulating. The result? Unexplained hunger, and usually a specific craving for foods rich in sugar and simple carbohydrates. 2. Insomnia or interrupted sleep for no clear reason. You lie down, you're tired, but you just can't fall asleep. Or you do fall asleep, but you wake up several times without understanding why. Glucose directly interferes with the production of melatonin and other hormones related to rest. In addition, spikes and drops in blood sugar levels at night make the body lose its state of relaxation. If insomnia has become a constant companion, it may be time to check your blood sugar levels. 1. Rapid heartbeat or feeling of anxiety at night. Waking up with a racing heart or feeling alert as if something is wrong can be one of the most ignored, and at the same time, one of the most dangerous signs. This feeling can be the result of a sudden drop in glucose, activating the sympathetic nervous system, which wakes up the body to deal with the situation. It may seem like anxiety or stress, but it is actually the body trying to protect itself from hypoglycemia. What now? Do I need to cut out carbs? After hearing all these signs, it is common to have that doubt. Do I have to cut out bread, rice, pasta, everything? The answer is not necessarily. And this is one of the biggest confusions that many people face when dealing with blood sugar control. Carbohydrates are an essential source of energy for our bodies. The problem is not with them themselves, but with how and when they are consumed. When you eat simple carbohydrates, such as white bread, soda, cake, or refined rice, and consume them alone without protein or fiber nearby, your blood glucose levels rise quickly, and worse, they then drop just as quickly. This causes the famous glycemic spikes, which overload the pancreas and impair insulin sensitivity. On the other hand, when you learn to make smart combinations with foods that slow down the absorption of these carbohydrates, the effect on the body is much lighter and more balanced. It's not about cutting, it's about adjusting. It's about understanding the role each food plays in your body and making more conscious choices, without having to live in restriction. By the way, tell me here in the comments, have you ever tried cutting out carbs and given up? Or were you afraid to eat healthy foods because of the sugar? I want to hear about your experience. Now that you know that cutting out carbs isn't the only way out, in the next chapter I'll show you 8 practical and easy to apply tips to avoid glucose spikes in your day-to-day life without leaving carbs aside. 8 tips to avoid glucose spikes without cutting carbs. Now that you understand that you don't need to cut out carbs to keep your blood sugar under control, it's time to put into practice 8 valuable tips that really work. These are simple changes, but they have a big impact on the way your body deals with sugar. Let's go. 1. Combine carbohydrates with proteins and good fats. Whenever you eat something rich in carbohydrates, such as bread, rice, or pasta, combine it with sources of protein, such as eggs, chicken, fish, and good fats, such as olive oil, avocado, nuts. These nutrients help to reduce the speed at which glucose enters the bloodstream, preventing spikes. For example, choose bread with egg and avocado instead of plain bread with jam. 2. Avoid consuming simple carbohydrates alone. Bread, pasta, sweets, juices. All of these, when consumed alone and on an empty stomach, trigger blood glucose levels. Ideally, you should avoid eating these foods alone. Even fruit, if possible, should be accompanied by a nut or natural yogurt to balance the glycemic impact. 3. Use apple cider vinegar before main meals. A simple and powerful trick: 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted in half a glass of water 10 to 15 minutes before lunch or dinner. The acetic acid present in vinegar helps slow down the digestion of carbohydrates and improves insulin sensitivity. It is cheap, practical, and scientifically proven. 4. Take a light walk after meals. You don't need to run or go to the gym right after eating. A simple 10 to 15 minute walk after lunch or dinner is enough to help your muscles absorb glucose from your bloodstream, reducing spikes. This habit, in addition to helping with blood sugar levels, improves digestion and even promotes sleep when done at night. 5. Don't eat dinner too late. Eating dinner late can affect the quality of your sleep and make it harder to control your blood sugar levels. Ideally, you should finish your last meal of the day at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, giving your body time to digest and stabilize your blood sugar levels. If you feel hungry later, opt for light snacks with protein, such as plain yogurt or a slice of cheese with nuts. 6. Choose foods with a low glycemic index. Not all carbohydrates act the same. Foods with a low glycemic index release glucose slowly into the blood, which is ideal for avoiding spikes. Good choices: oats, sweet potatoes, brown rice, beans, lentils, fruits such as apples, pears, and berries. The more natural and less processed, the better. 7. Hydrate yourself well throughout the day. Water is essential for the body to eliminate excess glucose through the kidneys. When you are dehydrated, sugar becomes even more concentrated in the blood. Drinking water regularly helps to keep your blood sugar levels more stable. A good goal is to drink water little by little throughout the day without waiting until you feel thirsty. 8. Get a good night's sleep. Your sleep affects your blood sugar levels. People who sleep little or poorly have more difficulty controlling their glucose levels. During deep sleep, the body regulates hormones such as insulin, cortisol, and ghrelin linked to hunger. A poor night's sleep increases insulin resistance and stimulates the desire to eat foods rich in sugar and carbohydrates the next day. Prioritizing sleep is one of the smartest ways to balance your body. With these 8 tips, you can not only avoid glucose spikes, but also create a lighter and more sustainable eating routine without giving up what you like. The secret is balance, not restriction. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how small changes like these can add up to big changes in your health and how you can realistically and sustain them in the long run. Transformation is within your reach. You don't need to make radical changes to take care of your health. What you need is clarity, consistency, and awareness. And now you have all 3. By recognizing the nighttime signs of glucose imbalance, you're one step ahead of most people. By understanding that carbohydrates are not the enemy, but rather part of a system that needs balance, you're freeing yourself from myths that only create guilt and confusion. And by applying simple tips like combining foods better, walking after meals, and getting enough sleep, you're transforming your routine without giving up the things you love. This is real change, a realistic, gentle, and effective transformation. And the best part is, you don't have to wait for drastic results to start feeling better. With just 1 or 2 changes applied consistently, your sleep can improve, your energy can increase, and that heavy feeling at night can start to disappear. Doesn't happen all at once. It's built one habit at a time, one decision a day, and you've already started this journey now simply by seeking information and being willing to understand your own body better. In the next chapter, I want to invite you to continue this process. I will show you how you can actively participate in this community and share your experience so that more people can benefit as well. After all, taking care of your health can and should be a collective movement. If this content helped you in any way, as if it alerted you, enlightened you, or made you rethink your relationship with food and sleep, leave a like right now. This is not only a way to support the channel, but also to tell YouTube that this video deserves to reach more people who need this information. Take advantage and share this with someone in your family or group of friends who also struggles with glucose control or has questions about what to do at night to sleep better. Sometimes a simple video like this can open the eyes of someone who is suffering in silence. And of course, tell me in the comments what caught your attention the most. Have you identified any of the nighttime signs? Have you already applied any of the tips? Or are you going to start with which one? I read everything carefully and respond whenever I can. Your participation makes all the difference. Now, if you like this content, the next video will show you what to eat at night to sleep better and keep your glucose levels stable. A practical guide that complements everything we've seen so far. Now that you know how to identify the warning signs at night and know practical strategies to control your blood sugar levels without giving up carbohydrates, the next step is even more important, knowing what to eat at night to have a peaceful night's sleep and your blood sugar levels under control. In the next video, you will discover real examples of nighttime meals that balance blood sugar levels, aid digestion, and even promote deep rest. It is practical, straight to the point content that will help you create your own combinations without fear. If you want to continue learning in a simple way and without nutritional terrorism, take advantage now to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. That way you won't miss any new content, and continue on this journey with reliable and applicable information in your daily life. Click on the video that is now appearing on your screen and together we will build an eating routine that takes care of you while you sleep.